What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our Kings related podcast, wherever you may be, in this post game recap where the Kings rookies shine in this complete comeback win over the New Orleans Pelicans. But first, thank you as always for joining me for another edition of the show. And if you enjoyed this podcast, make sure you give us a follow on Apple Podcasts or whatever podcast platform you prefer. And if you're watching on our YouTube channel, please hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment down below. This is game 78 on the season, and at this point in the year, you have the Kings and the Pelicans. Both of them are looking ahead to this off season as we wind down this long regular season where both teams did not play well, but only one team tonight could come out on top. And for the Kings, that's not a good thing. New Orleans, they have no incentive to lose because their pick goes to the Atlanta Hawks in this upcoming draft. The more games Sacramento wins, their odds of securing a top draft pick this summer really slip away and they decrease. Because at this point in the season, wins can do more harm than help this Kings team. And as I mentioned, New Orleans, they don't own their first round pick. And the Kings, they entered tonight in a strong position to secure a high lottery selection. But the Kings, with tonight's 117-113 win over the Pelicans, this win could end up hurting Sacramento in the long run, because the Kings now 21-57, and they are at risk of slipping in the draft lottery standings with just 4 games remaining in this season, and potentially weakening their odds of landing a top 4 pick in this June's draft. And with just over a week left in this season, draft positioning it's become more important, especially as the Kings, they try to maintain its place among the teams that have the best lottery odds, and them falling out of the top 4 could mean the difference of drafting inside the top 5 or sliding as back as 8th in the draft this summer. And that could absolutely be a colossal failure for this team as it looks to build this team and this new team that they're trying to build for the foreseeable future. And to make things even worse and complicated for this Sacramento team in this one tonight, you had Utah, Brooklyn, and Indiana. They all lost tonight in their games. You have the Indiana Pacers, who are in 3rd place. Brooklyn and Utah 2nd place. So, and that combination makes the Kings win tonight potentially even more costly, as it could tighten the race at the bottom of the lottery standings and chip away at Sacramento's lottery positioning at the worst possible time. But as the win might hurt the lottery odds, tonight's win there are lots of positives to take away from this win. And as I said at the top of this episode, the rookies shined in this game for Doug Christie and this Sacramento team. And it was Maxime, Nick Clifford, Dylan Cardwell, Devin Carter. And let's start with the man who is fresh off winning Western Conference Rookie of the Month yesterday. And that is Maxime Reynaud, who he set the tone early for this Kings offense in this game. He scored 8 points. He was 4-4 from the foul line, and he collected 6 rebounds during the opening frame of this basketball game. And the rest of the Kings offense in that time, they just scored 13 points, and they were 5 of 16 from the field for 31% from the field during that first quarter. And then you got a New Orleans team that's playing with its core. Zion, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, Sadiq Bey, and then plus their rookies and Jeremiah Fears and Derek Queen. And speaking of Jeremiah Fears, he led all scorers with 18 points during that first half of play. But the Kings, and then once Sacramento entered the second half of this game, the Kings, they flirted with making a run of their own, trimming the Pelicans' lead to single digits and halting New Orleans' momentum, thanks to the play of Precious Achiuwa, once again, who continues to impress, and Nick Clifford. They both combined for 17 points in that third quarter alone, and the floodgates from that point on opened for this Kings offense in the third, as Sacramento, they scored 30 points on 52% shooting from the field and 40% from downtown to turn what appeared to be a New Orleans blowout win into an absolute nail-biter in the fourth quarter. So, this game was en route to being a blowout win for New Orleans, but it was the young guys who got it done, both offensively and on the defensive end of the floor. And the Kings rookies led them to this win tonight. And it's games like this that I don't matter that the Kings win, because it was your young guys who got it done. And as we end up winding down the season, the young guys, they're establishing good habits as we close this season out. And hopefully they carry over to next season. And it was Max who led all scorers with 9 points in that fourth quarter. Clifford added 7 points. Dylan Cardwell had 3 block shots, including one on Zion Williamson, 2 of them coming in the final minute of this game down the stretch in the clutch. And the Kings, they took the lead by 1 possession, and they sealed this stunning comeback win for the Sacramento Kings. And if we're looking at Sacramento's recent play as of late, over the last 14 games, the Sacramento Kings are 7-7 over the last 14 games. Absolutely incredible. You decided to play your best basketball when these games or what, meaningless. They don't mean anything. Instead, playing your best basketball when, what, back in October or November. Like, on one hand, like seeing the rookies play at a high level and close out what could be like to close out an impressive comeback win, like that's one thing. It's inspiring to see the development of your young guys for the future of this core that you're trying to build. And then you got, on the other hand, like this core, like who is the franchise centerpiece? Do they have one? And I don't think so, because I think the franchise centerpiece is in this draft this June. And this team needs one badly. And this NBA draft class has 5 to 6 franchise centerpieces coming up, maybe more, who could fit the bill as franchise changers and talents who can help elevate this Kings group even further going into next season and beyond. So, like, you got the NBA draft lottery, like it's always a crapshoot. Like the Dallas Mavericks won a play-in game last year, and they won the lottery. That's a crapshoot. Like it's all about luck. And even with the 5th best odds, Sacramento, they still have high odds of securing one of those potential franchise tone setters in the draft. And they'll just have slightly lower odds than they could have thanks to this recent 14-game stretch where they've played 500 basketball over those last 14 games. So, but Maxime right now, he finished this night with 28 points, 9 rebounds, 11 of 14 shooting, and this was Max's 10th game with 20 plus points this season. That is 10th most by a Kings rookie in the Sacramento era. So Max continues to be impressive, and if he is not first team all rookie, I think we should all launch a formal investigation, because he should be first team all rookie. He has been the best big man in this rookie class. So just my 2 cents. Nick Clifford, 23 points, 5 rebounds. He also passed out 7 assists in this game while shooting 9 of 16 from the floor. But the most impressive part about Clifford in this game, he was 4 of 6 from downtown in 38 minutes of action. Really good to see from Nick Clifford in this game. 2-way contract player Daquan Plowden, 17 points during this win, and 5 of 12 shooting from the floor tonight. Dylan Cardwell from undrafted 2-way contract to a converted standard NBA deal. 8 rebounds, 5 block shots in this game for Dylan, with 3 of them coming during that 4th quarter alone. 2 of them in the final minutes of this game. And Dylan Cardwell is the 5th rookie in Sacramento era with multiple 5+ block games, joining Michael Stewart, Dwayne Coswell, Purvis Ellison, and Brian Grant in those honors. So just absolutely incredible. And like, it was the rookies shined in this game. And again, I don't mind the win. even though it does hurt your lottery odds, but it was your young guys who got it done in this win tonight over the New Orleans Pelicans. Comeback wins. And then you got the NBA draft lottery. Like it's designed to give the NBA's worst teams the absolute best chance of landing a top pick while discouraging the outright tanking that we've seen some of these teams do, like Washington, Utah, and Indiana. But for a team like the Kings, lottery odds come into play only if they miss the playoffs and they finish in the bottom 14 of the standings. And the three teams with the worst records, they each have a 14% chance to win the number one overall pick. And since the NBA went to that model, the worst team has never won the draft lottery. So, and with odds decreasing, like the chances are slim to none. So, and the draft lottery itself only determines the top 4 picks, and after that you got the selections are ordered by your regular season record. So the system means the Kings can move up, stay right where they are projected, or even worse, slide back, and sometimes significantly, depending on how the lottery balls fall. Like, it's why even small differences in the late season standings, they really do matter, because one extra win, like tonight and the game against Toronto, they can slightly reduce your odds of landing a top pick, but they can also protect against a big drop. So Kings, they beat the New Orleans Pelicans. Next game is Sunday as they play host to the Los Angeles Clippers on Sunday. They will conclude this quick 2-game homestand against the Clippers on Sunday. Sacramento 2-1 against the Clippers this season, as the Kings did beat LA just a month ago in LA with a stunning win on the road. And the Clippers, they are looking to get some payback because they are in a battle in that Western Conference play-in. They can't afford to lose any games because they want to stay in that 7 range in the Western Conference play-in. So that will do it for this episode of our Kings related podcast. If you enjoy this podcast, make sure you give us a follow on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. We are a video podcast on Spotify and on YouTube, so by all means, please catch the video feed. That'll be much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment down below. But until next time, we will see you Sunday night for another post-game recap following the Kings and the Clippers. So catch us back here Sunday night. But as always, thank you as always for joining me on the Kings related podcast. And as always, go Kings and light the